already popped it, so I can't unpop it.
Well, we're already live, so what about it?
Well, okay. Welcome to another episode of DJK GameTime. We got a lot to cover today, so it might be a little bit longer of an episode. Before we started recording, we were talking about football and all that fun stuff, just so we can, get that banter out of the way and keep the podcast focused on what it's about.
Unlike last episode where we got on a tangent about football.
Yes. But if you like that, let us know. We're always open to adding things and adding content for you guys. So a couple things we're going to go over today. Danny and I played the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. I don't know if Kirk, did you play the beta?
No, I haven't had a chance to. I mean, I still have a bad taste in my mouth with the recent Call of Duty games.
Last 5 fucking Call of Duty games?
Yeah, the last, since Black Ops 2, basically.
So, I'll wait till the game comes out, and then you guys let me know if it's worth picking up, but...
I'm going to go ahead and tell you it is, and I'll explain a lot of stuff to you, because I played probably 20-plus hours of it. That is the best Call of Duty possibly ever.
Yeah, I saw some of your Discord messages, I think it was this weekend.
It's nasty, dude. It's so good. Anyways, let's keep going.
We got Borderlands 3. We have some interesting news on the cloud gaming front with the Apple Arcade and the Google Play Plus being released. We're going to cover a little bit more on the Gears multiplayer. And to continue the drama that is the Sony-Disney fight over Spider-Man, is Apple going to buy Sony Pictures? But we'll go down in that order. We're going to start with the Call of Duty beta. Like I said, Danny and I had the opportunity to play it. Danny is in love with it, and it is possibly the only game that I'll play of Call of Duty since Black Ops. But Danny, what were some of the points that you want to hit on?
Okay, so I played a good bit of it. I was always a fan of Call of Duty, as everybody kind of was at the beginning. Everybody looks back on Modern Warfare with those nice rose-tinted glasses. It was a great game for the time. But then they kept trying to innovate. The Pick 10 was, I think, the last solid idea they had. And then from there it went into double jumps and wall runs, and it was basically a less fun version of Titanfall, in my opinion. And they tried to get back to it with World War II. The game was okay, but this plays most like Call of Duty for the original Modern Warfare, and there's no quick scoping. Quick scoping is dead. I love that. It's gone. It's gone for, maybe somebody will figure out a way, but there's no way it's ever going to be like it was. People jumping off buildings doing 360s, sticking the gun behind their back and over their head and pulling the trigger and getting a headshot. It's just not happening anymore. The customization system is top-notch. Basically, you have your 3 perks, your lethal, your tactical, and then your gun is the customizable part. Gun might have, let me think this through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots. And you get 5 items of your choice to go on the gun. One of those slots is a perk slot that takes things like sleight of hand and puts it in that perk slot for that specific gun. This, it's not revolutionary by any means, but it switches up how everything's organized. It's just a different way of organizing it. Really, the main reason that it's fantastic is the graphics are great. The sounds are insane. If you have a headset, this game is out of control. They also have, we finally have Call of Battlefield. That's a thing now. They have 32-on-32 Battlefield-style matches. There's tanks, there's helicopters. It's just mad chaos. There's squad spawning. But it's like playing Battlefield, but Call of Duty arcade style. And it can be a lot of fun or frustrating depending on what end you're on. And they added probably my favorite game mode since Search and Rescue for Modern Warfare 3. If you don't remember what that was, it was a mixture of Search and Destroy and Kill Confirmed. If you die in the search and destroy, your tags are up, and if your teammate grabs them, you respawn. If the enemy grabs them, you're permanently dead for that round. This is a neutral bomb, 5-on or 6-on-6 single elimination. But when you die, you go down. Your teammate can come up and revive you. It's a very slow process, but it's infinite revives, and the enemy can't make you permanently dead. Also, the neutral bomb just adds a bunch of chaos to it.
Is the neutral bomb there at the beginning of it, or is
yes,
it
yes, neutral bomb's at the beginning. So,
okay.
Yeah, it shows you the 2 objective locations and where the bomb spawns, and then everybody just takes off running. There's some crazy plays that can come from it. I mean, there's just so many combos. They have a new gadget, which is super badass, called Stim, where instead of like a tactical grenade or something like that, you like inject yourself with like healing potions, and instead of being on that black screen with your heart thumping, for 3 to 5 seconds, because they also have bullets now that hinder your regeneration of health too. So this kind of counteracts that. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is really, really good game. It really is.
So, Danny, I don't know if you. Yeah. I'm hoping you went back and listened to the episode that we did with Justin. But Justin talked a lot about how Call of Duty was franchising the teams. We got a team coming in Atlanta.
Just like Overwatch.
Yeah, and I think that is why we're seeing this rebalance of the game. Why you can't quick scope with some of these addeds. You can have up to 9 spots on the gun for perks, but you only get to choose 5 of them. It's more of that strategic aspect, since they are trying to bring this into an MLG, like a true MLG space, where like we're gonna go sit down, we're gonna watch them streamed, stuff like that. I think that might be the reason, and it's a good reason, that we're seeing these changes happen in Call of Duty, because like, I mean, I got frustrated when I first started playing. I was like, oh, this is just the same fucking Call of Duty. And then I was like, oh, never mind. It's not. Like, I can actually, like, hold my own again when I'm playing this.
It's probably a good thing, too, because it kind of levels the playing field, because all the old veterans of Call of Duty now have to relearn how to play the game based on what Danny's told us. And I guess that's kind of a good thing. And I'm surprised, now that I'm thinking about it, why hasn't Call of Duty jumped in the MLG space sooner? Like, half the streaming or videos you see online are like ridiculous no scopes, 360 headshots from across the map.
Well, I think it's because of those things. I think it's the reason that they've been so slow to get into the space is because there are like those builds that that if you're top notch, that's the only build that you run. And I'm sure that'll happen again. Like the
meta always forms.
There will be a meta fold, like Danny was saying, but like there's more options to try different things now, and I think that's one of the good things that they've done by bringing in that push into getting into MLG, and that because of that they've designed the game in a way that doesn't barricade other people from saying, you know what, let me practice this, I'm going to get good at it, let me see if I can get good enough to be at that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody will figure out how to quick scope. Maybe there's stuff that we won't even see yet, because they have quick draw stuff on like the assault rifles, but the guns in the beta maxed out at level 30. Well, the unlock for level 31 and even for assault rifles was a sniper scope. So I don't even know if we've even begun to see what this will evolve into. But with search and rescue, they have a night mode operations where everything's nighttime, and you can only shoot with a laser pointer like half-assed from the hip. Or if you want to take your night vision off, you can aim down sights, but then everything's super dark and you got to make sure you have good vision. There's one scope that broke that, but I'm pretty sure that's a bug. But there's just a lot to it.
Here's
the gameplay is solid, though. That's what matters, is the gameplay, and it's solid as hell.
Well, the question I have is, so there's all these slots you can put all these perks or equipment on. Are they all unlockable? Are there certain game types that allow like customized guns and some that don't, like to level out the playing field?
Probably not. I wouldn't think so. But I mean, I'll be honest, man. If you play with the gun for an hour or two, and we'll just say you're going about 20 and 15 So you're not getting stomped in domination. You're not doing the stomping, but you get a couple kill streaks. That gun's going to be level 18, 19 already. I mean, it levels up super fast.
Okay.
So as long as you're competent, then you're good. And I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, the radar jamming stuff is like unlocked from the beginning. So it really, Call of Duty's always kind of been more that whoever sees first, shoots first, will kill. What you know what I mean? It's just a Twitch
first shot
reaction
wins.
thing. There you go, essentially. But that's not as true anymore. Unless you spec your gun to reduce recoil, there actually is a decent amount of recoil on some of these guns. Every gun's not a straight laser anymore.
Well, that's my only concern about them
nice.
doing jumping in the MLG space, because are they going to sit there and level the playing field, saying like you can only have these attachments on all your characters and stuff like that? Or
okay, so how they've handled it in the past with competitive, like Black Ops 2, when you go into the competitive mode, everything for everybody's always unlocked, always.
Okay.
So, yeah, nobody has an advantage over somebody else. Your XP and stuff just didn't carry over from that level. That was just for something that, people that wanted to get ranked. It's like ranked mode.
Gotcha. So. Okay, well then that shows a little bit more hope in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care as much about the pro circuit for something like Call of Duty because, I mean, it is kind of more of a mindless game than something like an Overwatch or, a Heroes of the Storm or
Rainbow
Six
Siege.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be there. So I'm pumped. What was it? Monday after the beta was over, I just kind of sat down on my Xbox and I eventually just turned my Xbox off because I didn't feel like playing anything else. It's like I missed the beta. I'm gonna grind the hell out of that. I played some Gears, but I love Gears of War, as everybody knows. I just have a huge bone to pick with it right now. So I don't know if you want to jump into that now.
Yeah, so what's been the issue?
Okay, so besides the whole outrageous cosmetics, something that maybe only I'm going to complain about as a Gears purist, the number one thing about Gears that is pissing the living shit out of people off is that even if you win the game, even if you're the MVP in ranked, you can still lose rank.
I don't understand that.
That is stupid. That is so stupid.
So how does that
happen?
So basically, wins and losses do not matter anymore. It is purely based on like your KD ratio, and that's it. So someone like me, I'm playing King of the Hill. I'm usually probably not going to go negative. But I'm the person that I'm head on into the hill, grenade out, Nasher, ready to go. I'm trying to win the game. When in this ranked mode, you're actually better off sitting back, not playing the objective, not helping your team, and worrying about your own KD to try and rank up. That's stupid.
That's extremely stupid. Why would they do that?
I have no idea. I don't know what the formula is. I was reading the subreddit today. I guess somebody from the coalition said the guy that did ranked was on vacation. They'll get back with him. The biggest cop out. I mean, I'd have to imagine that's legitimate only because who the hell would say that? But yeah, so that's kind of, I've just learned that, I'll do a hard carry and, jump up, and then I'll have a decent game, and, maybe I'll be MVP or at least on the winning team, but I still lose points because my team lost or we got blown out. Or like, it has a thing where like one team is favored, and even if you like win as the favored team, like you don't get that many points because you were favored. So it's just, yeah, it's odd. Other than that, they added one execution in the store, I think today, and it cost like $10.
Jesus.
That's insane.
Yeah, and like none of the characters are in the game from the campaign. Their argument is that they'll be released later with Horde. I'm sure most people that follow this game already know all this stuff, but everybody's pissed off about this. You have a guy on Reddit that every day makes a meme post about the Carmines not being in the game until they finally are. I'm sure he's going to get burnt out after a couple years. And then the only other thing I don't like is one of the things they added was every character has kind of a quick reaction melee. And it's turning those fun, hectic shotgun battles into a one-shot melee, half-ass two-piece fest. And I'm not I'm not a fan. I learned to deal with the fact that the Lancer seems a little over-tuned right now. You just got to play around it, but I don't know.
I will say this, after I think I played one time with you in the past 2 weeks, I have to say, like, it was kind of like riding a bike. Like, the controls, like, kind of came back to me naturally, and I got some of my skill back. I mean, that's not to say that I'm good at all. I'm still dog shit in that game, but, you know. One positive note on Gears of War 5, I don't want to shit stomp it right now, but
I still think it's a good game.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, despite all that, I will say, I did finish the campaign. I think the ending is fantastic. For lack of a better explanation, you are given a choice at one point, and you must make that choice to progress through the game. I don't know what ramifications will become of such choice. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's kind of odd for a game like this to present that to somebody, but I have an idea. I just don't want to say anything. I think, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe we'll touch on that at some point. But yeah, no, the gameplay is just, I mean, it's still fun, and the shotgun hit registration seems legitimate this time. So,
yeah, I like that addition to the game. God, now I want to go play the campaign, and I'm curious now. Now you have me itching to figure out what this choice is. And
I'll tell you what. One thing I want to do. I beat it on. What was it? Oh hell, I don't know what to call it. The Halo equivalent of heroic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try it on the hardest difficulty. With the three of us, one of us gets to play Jack, and the other two people. I think that'd be a fun playthrough.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how Jack plays.
Stay tuned for that streaming date.
Ooh, yeah, we could stream
that. Could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah,
but yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been doing. So.
Okay. Well,
Borderlands.
You play a little bit of Borderlands, and this is new for you. I get it. But I think minus the issues that they had at launch, because it seems that every game these days has a little bit of an issue at launch. I think they did a phenomenal job with Borderlands 3. The gunplay is great. I think the story is great too. Like, this is the first game that we've gone off of Pandora. I like seeing, and interacting more with the world that they're building with the game. I haven't finished it yet, so not a whole lot of spoilers there. But so one thing that they have had an issue with, Danny, you'll eventually get this, and Kirk, I don't know how much of the game you've played. Legendary weapons drop like fucking candy, which I am not complaining about. I know people are complaining about it because they want to, be getting those weapons for playing on Mayhem or, some of the higher difficulty levels for the game. But my it's always been the ludicrous weapons that they construct for this world, and just getting to use some of those weapons without having to put in 50 hours is a good idea for me, at least. And again, I'm not getting to play 10 hours a day anymore because we all work real jobs and have real lives, and I'm in the midst of the countdown to my wedding. So we have a lot of shit going on. But like I said, I like experiencing those weapons that they create that are just they are Borderlands. They are those crazy ass shit that you're like, how the fuck did they come up with this? And also all the little Easter eggs that are involved with that stuff too.
How far have you gotten in the game? Like, what level are you?
I think I'm level 29 right now. I just finished Eden 6.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't jumped on. I have the game to play, but I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, and I've been very limited on time during the week. The past couple of weeks with family coming into town, and I have to travel for work here soon, so it's been... I want to play the game at least a little bit just to experience it and experience these crazy, wacky guns that you tell me about and I see on Reddit and stuff like that. But again, like you said, we are your 9-to-5 busy gamer.
Yeah. I think I'll probably play maybe a little more here and there, maybe down the road. My opinion is that if I'm going to play... So I know you can turn off the graphical thing, but the fact that there's a little bit of input lag and it's 30 frames per second kind of put me off. I mean, obviously we played a lot of Destiny, but at least there's no input lag. But this game is basically a watered-down version of Destiny, but it's not meant to be super serious like that. It's meant to be wacky and fun.
See, I love games like that because if I can sit there and play a game's campaign and just cry laughing at what happens, I'm all in. Kind of like the Saints Row series.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to always be kind of pushing towards something like like a raid, or there's some crazy multiplayer where I can get this really cool gun and then learn how to use it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to give it some more time, but Destiny expansion is coming, Call of Duty's coming. I still really haven't played that much Rainbow since the new Operation dropped, and I think there's a wedding coming up or something. So
yeah, someone's getting married. Can't remember who.
Who knows? Who knows?
I just feel bad for the bride, but it is
right.
What it is.
Yeah, I just remember the groom's just a huge tool bag.
Fucking biggest tool.
Oh man.
Anyway, okay.
Good try.
Well,
Good
I actually have another wedding on the 5th of October, so fair enough.
Well, fuck. I guess that groom's a fucking tool then.
I actually don't know him. I just know the bride and I like her, so it's all good.
Oh. Anyway, so some interesting news that I mentioned earlier. Apple Arcade and Google Play Plus. So if you don't know what's going on there, the App Store and Google Play are coming out with a subscription service where they're going to be putting paid games and microtransactions for free for what, like, Kirk, a $5-10 subscription per month, something like that.
So the deal is Apple Arcade is going to be $5 a month, and that will unlock 100+ games and some that are being developed for the new iPhone for you to have full access to. I don't know about in-game purchases, but I've heard that and read about Google Play Plus, where that's also $5 a month. But the first 3 months are $2 if you want to check it out and see if you like it. But that unlocks both games and apps, and they marketed that there's going to be 300+ of those.
Yeah, so that's the difference, is that the Google Play Plus is going to have like apps like Peak, or those self-help apps or tracking apps. Or
what is Peak?
Peak is a brain training app. It's a big one.
I think I've heard about that before.
Probably something like Duolingo might go free on stuff like that. Just those types of things where, like, would I like to learn another language? Yeah. Do I want to pay $60 a year for it? It's not on my high priority list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good direction if you are a mobile gamer. I mean, I have no problem if people play games on their phones. I mean, we pretty much have a computer in our pocket nowadays. It's just the games I expect to play are kind of like the old Game Boy games, like Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, games like that. I like to play on my phone, but some of these new games are pretty intense and well thought out. But it's just, I don't have the time to do that. If I do, I'm going to be doing it at work, which I shouldn't be. So.
True. No, but I think it's interesting, especially with Apple trying to Google also trying to do Stadia. With this being added, I think they're really trying to make a push into the gaming marketplace. Do I think they're still going to be marketing towards people like us? No. Do I think it's going to be marketed to people like our listeners? Probably not. But is it going to be marketed to people like my fiance or Danny's wife or Kirk's girlfriend? Not saying that they're marketing towards women, but like someone that would be like the true casual gamer. Yes. I think they are truly trying to market towards like a true casual gamer, where they're not necessarily going to own a console or a super powerful PC like we do, But people that like sit in bed and play a game, or people on their lunch break that like want to play a Sudoku or um, Bejeweled, or what's the other one, Candy Crush. I think that's what their market is. I think it's smart for them to do that. I think introducing other ways for people to game is a good idea, because we've been gaming since we were kids, and some people haven't, but there are studies out there that show that gaming is good for spatial recognition, for,
problem solving,
stress levels, problem solving, all this other great stuff. And it's been kind of a closed off market space, because gaming has been aimed at us.
Well, I think it's still, to this day has a stigma for a lot of people. I think once we're 75, 80 years old, that'll be completely gone at this point. But it's kind of an older generation thing. I mean, even like Caitlin's stepdad. I mean, this is a dude that built the house with his bare hands with his buddies because they could, and goes to Alaska once a year and hunts in the woods for like 2 weeks. And last time we were down there, he's playing this like fishing and hunting game on his phone. And like you can buy stuff on there, and this is up my alley, and he spends money on it, and that's exactly what they want. Yeah, because they're just hitting that crowd. Oh, video games are for nerds, and then they're doing the same thing. I mean, what is a slot machine for an old lady but a piss poor video game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a quick hit for people to get a little bit of gaming in, just to relieve some stress when they don't have enough time to sit down in front of a TV and turn on a console. I don't think that console gaming or computer gaming is going to go away anytime soon at all.
No, that's never going
to
happen.
But
everybody has a phone. Not everybody has a high-powered PC or a console.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is more marketed to the next generation, because, I mean, it's so convenient. I can play a game if I can play a game that's as fun as like Destiny or Borderlands 3 in the future, I might get it for my phone. If it's that convenient. Or to our next topic, Stadia, if I can just open up a web browser and just play one of those games, why not? So,
yeah. No, I'm with you. As long as it's cross-save. Because if you have one of those big rigs that can do all the fancy, awesome stuff, you ought to be able to use it. Same thing with the console. I mean, consoles are basically just becoming unupgradable computers. Essentially.
It's a poor man's PC. But also another point, too, is same thing we talked with Justin. It's like if you're Stadia and this Apple Arcade and Google Play Plus, this will be streamed to the casual gamer. Now, the competitive gamers, the people that play for MLG stats or who are competitive, like playing Rainbow Six Siege, Modern Warfare, Halo, they're going to spend the money and buy a rig so that they can have no input lag and no latency when they're playing these games, just so they can play better and get ranked up.
Yeah. So I don't think shooters are not going to this kind of thing. That it would just I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll perfect it. That just sounds terrible. But I mean, this is more of your kind of strategy games, maybe like turn-based games, like you're looking at like Hearthstone, something like that. I mean, that's obviously already on mobile, but that style of game, I mean, maybe like a FIFA or Madden could go there, but anything that's Twitch precise reaction, yeah, it's just not the medium for it. At least not right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So we kind of blew through a lot of this.
Going for a long podcast.
So, yeah, right.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to. I mean, has anybody played Stadia yet? I mean, is it even out? I mean, I haven't kept up with. Yeah, I haven't kept up with it.
I think it launches in November, or late October. But so we've made it a point to cover the drama that's going around with Sony and Disney in regards to Spider-Man. So they were still in talks. They apparently had come to a new arrangement where Marvel would have also been able to use Venom. And then Apple steps in with a bid to buy Sony Motion Pictures, which couldn't honestly be a good thing because, as we know, Apple's getting ready to launch their own streaming service. We know that Jason Momoa has a show with them called Eyes, Seeing, something like that, which is basically Bird Box and The Quiet Place, except this time they're all blind. So it's basically Bird Box. But beyond that, they're probably looking at pulling in a established hierarchy without having to build their own, which is why they're looking at Sony Motion Pictures. And the thought behind that is that Apple, for what we know right now, probably doesn't really care all that much about keeping or really messing with Marvel, since they'd have to go head to head with, Marvel Studios and Disney. So they would probably either give film rights or full rights, basically selling off the Spider-Man universe, which would open up a whole mess of shit that Disney would be able to do even if the first one, where they are pretty loose with the rights to Spider-Man for future motion pictures. And beyond that, I don't know if Danny or Kirk saw this earlier this week. Actually, it was last week. Sony was being petty and released a trailer for Night Monkey.
Oh,
did you guys see that?
In reference to Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, Sony got really
Night
petty.
Monkey?
Sony got really petty. And
first off, what the hell is Night Monkey?
It's a reference in Spider-Man: Far From Home movie where Peter
he's
Parker
wearing the
has
stealth suit.
Yeah, he's wearing like an agent suit that's all blacked out, has like goggles and body armor, but he can still move around, do his thing. But he didn't want to reveal that he's Spider-Man because his classmates would find out that he's Spider-Man, because why would Spider-Man be in Europe instead of New York? It's a whole spiel, and then like eventually someone said, "Oh, his name's Night Monkey."
So he's not a spider; he's a monkey.
No, so in the movie,
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just like, what the hell are y'all talking about? I don't follow any of the superhero stuff, man. My bad. I'm just poking fun.
That's fine. But yeah, that was weird. But I do hope that eventually they come to some kind of arrangement.
I feel like they will, because I think Marvel and Disney have a good working relationship with Apple, and they could figure out some deal to be like, hey, we can give you back your partial rights to Spider-Man, just spread the love and give us some of the money,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a good sign for the Spider-Man franchise.
So this one's a little bit of a breaking news article. So we all know that Civilization went to Switch, right? Civ 6 is on Switch.
Really?
Did not know that, but fair.
Yeah, Civ 6 is on Switch, and they are developing the engine to run it on PS4 and Xbox. So we are in the age where 4X gaming can be done on a console. Just let that sink in.
Okay.
The amount of processing power behind a 4X game, we can now do it on a console.
I mean, the technology will eventually catch up to do that, but the next Civ game might need more processing power.
Oh yeah, the next Civ game is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
It's going to be gorgeous, and I can't wait to see what it's going to look like.
Speaking of games on Switch, real quick, did you guys hear that Overwatch is now on Switch?
That doesn't surprise me either. I did not. I heard that they were talking about doing it, but I didn't hear that it is actually released.
I'm really curious about how that plays with those wireless controllers, and I don't know.
What was it? The PlayStation thing was like PS Vita or something?
Yes.
You could play remotely. That almost seems like they were just a little too early on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Vita also had some processing problems. Like there wasn't enough processing power for playing some of the games like Final Fantasy.
Like I had that thing and it was awesome at the time. But
yeah. here's a good one for you. If you are a fan of the Batman Arkham series and you have a PC, it is currently free for download on the Epic Game Store. All 3 games.
Nice. That was actually a really fun game. If you haven't played that, you need to. It's
Yep.
Zelda, but with the Batman skin.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. Danny probably doesn't care about this, but the new Pokemon variants for Sword and Shield, they just released the first evolution ever for Farfetch'd, so I think that leaves one original Pokemon that doesn't have a evolution.
What Pokemon is that?
Snorlax has a beginning form. Lapras doesn't have an evolution.
Huh.
I don't know. They're still working on this stuff. I used to play that game all the time back in the day.
Dude, I think they're at like 2,000 Pokemon.
Lapras is the only Pokemon that does not have an evolution.
I don't know why they had to give every Pokemon an evolution.
Well, they didn't really like do it on purpose, but it just kind of gets to that point. Like, there's only so many things that you can create, and they've created a lot.
Yeah,
they have.
No, I'll give them that. I mean, they've had so many ideas and different evolutions that, yeah, you're right. Like, there's only so far you can go with creativity.
Yeah, but that's due to release in November, I believe.
Is it Sword and Shield? Is that the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I wish I had the time to play that game. Hell, I want to go play the new remastered versions of like Gold and Silver, Red and Blue, and all those games.
Yeah, I played through Blue probably 4 or 5 times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I would always just replicate that rare candy.
Yep, on that island.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield is due to release November 15th. I'm sure we talked about this after E3, but there's already some issues in the community regarding what they're doing with this game. Just the lack of new Pokemon. I think they're only releasing 40 new Pokemon for the game, and it's the first game to be on the Switch, so it's the first full-length Pokemon game to be on a console, and they're not adding a whole lot in terms of new character models.
It's going to be 3D?
It's been 3D for a while.
It's been,
okay.
Yeah, the ones that have been on the 3DS, you can do 3D. The 3DS is fun, but like I have one, and I think the 3D stuff is kind of a gimmick because it is a little bit headache-inducing.
I just have a Game Boy Pocket from back in the day.
Oh, did you know those things still like sell for like $60 to $80 on Amazon? Like a Game Boy.
I wouldn't
Color?
doubt it, man. I think. Oh, mine's not even in color, dude. Mine's in black and white. It's this little silver thing. It still works perfectly fine.
Oh, dude, I would kill to. There's been so many times I've been on Amazon just to buy the Game Boy Color. What was it, lime green that I had as a kid, and then buy all the old games. But those games are still like $40 because Nintendo will not lower the prices, and there's such novelty items now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, it's like trying to. Yeah, that's the one thing that probably the only retro gaming that I'll end up doing is I live in 64. Man, you can't mess with that.
Oh no,
It was always the best.
I mean, I don't know for Pokemon. Like we were saying earlier, there's only so much you can do. I guess the only thing they can do at this point is switching up the battle and how it plays out, or new Pokemon combinations that you can fight. But other than that, I mean, they're almost at the end of their rope with like what they can do with how many more Pokemons they can add.
Well, shit. Ash finally beat a Pokemon League.
Oh, that's right. He's finally a Pokemon monster. I read that in the news. It's like, yay! It only took him 20 years, and he's still 15.
Well, now he's gonna have the disease that strikes every Pokemon master where he ages greatly. So this was another thing. Apparently, they're going to be bringing in a new protagonist for the series now that he's finally won.
Huh. So
which is going to be weird.
So now they're going to retire his character?
My childhood is officially dead. I mean, the last character from my childhood that was still around is now retired.
I mean, you could still rewatch all those episodes, and by the time you finish, you'll be 80.
This is true. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But
I mean, I
yeah,
still remember the coolest thing in Pokemon was when I think it's in Gold and Silver, where you have to, after you get your become a Master Pokemon, whatever it's called. I'm sure someone's screaming at the top of their lungs.
it's called a Master Trainer.
Master Trainer. You have to
Pokemon Master.
fight. You have to fight the last person, and you go up the mountaintop, and it's red from the first game.
Yep.
That was my favorite thing out of all the Pokemon games. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow! Like I got goosebumps as a kid getting playing that. What else was there? But that's kind of funny. Yeah, our childhood hero, now that we're adults, is finally finished. And there was some meme online that it cracked me up a little bit, and it was about Ash, about how, like, it's been so many years, or it was like a quote from the new Samurai Jack, where, like, so many years have passed, but time doesn't affect me anymore. And now I'm stuck in the future with still the same age as I was when I started. And it's just a meme of Ash, still trying to become a Pokemon monster.
Inception.
Telltale Games is coming back. I think I covered that in the last episode that someone bought Telltale Games back and is starting new games. Nothing announced on that yet as to what they're going to be producing, but, good Telltale Game series is always a good thing.
What was their last game? Was that The Walking Dead, like the last chapter
so they
of
did,
Clementine?
They did two or three seasons of The Walking Dead. They did 2 seasons of The Werewolf one. They did 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
They also had a Batman series.
They did a Batman one. They did really good, like, story-driven games. Like, they're not games that you're gonna go and make $100 million playing, but they were really good storytelling games.
I do miss playing those games. Like I really enjoyed the Walking Dead series with the story. Like, I know there's a couple variants of it, but the Clementine series, like their original story, was really good.
Yeah.
And I want to actually kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to finish that out because I only have like the last game to do, and then her story's complete, and I can move on to the next one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about where we are for the news of what's been going on in the gaming world. Shit, I thought we were gonna have a lot more to talk about this week. We kind of rushed through that stuff.
I mean, I'm still playing Destiny 2, and I have a funny story to tell. I don't think it's gonna fill the rest of the time, but
we don't have to drag people on. Go ahead. What you got? You were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, so last night, so me and Hansi have been playing a lot of Destiny 2, just kind of like grinding the guns. Obviously not leveling up because it's pointless, because in October we're all going to be boosted up to 750 light.
Isn't that the first, like, before we do the next podcast?
Week.
Yeah,
yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Actually, yeah. But...
Spoiler alert on the next show.
What happened was me and Hansi are right now trying to do the Lumina quest, which is... That gun is the opposite of Thorn. Instead of like shooting guardians and dwindling their health or any enemy at this point, but let's be honest here, who uses Thorn in PvE activities? Rose does the opposite, where if you shoot it a couple times, one bullet will be a healing bullet, and you can shoot it at one of your teammates. It'll heal them and yourself. And it's a really cool gun, and I can feel like it'll be powerful later on down the road just to have in your arsenal. And me and Hansi were working on the quest, and the steps that we've gone through was you have to go to location, pick something up, go talk to someone at the tower, then you get like a 3-part, you get 3 bounties with the next step of the quest, which one is do a 50,000 point nightfall, do certain activities, and you'll get points towards completion. I think it's like 40, and like each activity is like, you get 3 points for doing it. The activities are...
Was that the one you were talking about, where if everybody's on the same thing, you get it faster or something?
That's the next step that I'm going to get to.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, you can do the Blinding Well, Escalation Protocol, or Black Armory, the Forges. That'll progress that part of the quest. I'm blanking on the third one. But I had gone past all of that, and me and Hansi had just gone to the step where like you can do any activity in the game, and it'll give you a certain percentage. And the more people that have the Rose gun that came with the quest will boost it up further. So last night we were playing, I think you were playing Gears of War, Danny, and me and Hansi were playing Destiny, and we were talking about that, and you made the comment about, like, why the hell aren't you looking up the fastest way to progress this? And we were just, talking shit back to each other, saying we're just enjoying the game. So eventually I put my controller on my lap, and I'm looking up the quest and the step we're doing to figure out, to Google, how do I get the fastest way to it? And in the middle of, like, watching a couple of videos and hearing it in my headset directly connects to my phone, I hear a dismantle sound. I was like, what the fuck was that? Sure enough, I look up, and I abandoned my quest for that gun. I was so fucking pissed. I sat there calmly, and I was like, for the podcast, I'm not going to say anything, but the whole entire time, I'm like, hey, Hansi, I need to go to the farm to get something real quick, and not say a word in the whole entire party, because I did not want to hear the shit from you, Danny, or Hansi.
Oh, my God. Hey, I'll tell you what, back in the day when the Elite controllers first came out, there was a kid that posted about tapping the button on the front so you can turn the paddles off. He was in the character selection screen for Destiny, and he set his controller on his bed, and he deleted his character and all his exotic guns, his touch and malice.
Fucking
I would honestly just stop playing the game. At that point, I'd be like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
I literally
100% done.
Turned off my Xbox.
I would have quit.
Threw out the window. I was so mad, but I was trying to play it off so
I think that's what you get for playing Destiny the week before the expansion drops. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You're just mad that we're getting the guns before you can.
Oh, I don't care, because you're going to have to help me get the guns. So, I ain't worried about it.
So I want to backtrack a little bit.
It sucks, man.
So the people that developed Arkham Origins just teased a new Batman game.
How many of those Batman games do they have out right now?
This would be the fourth one. There are 3. There's Arkham Origins, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking 4, but...
Nope, this would be the 4th, I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know.
They were hinting about doing a Superman game in the game. Or I heard some news about it way back when Arkham City, the latest Batman game, was out. But I'm all for it, dude. I love that Batman series. It was so much fun. I had a blast. Yeah,
they're very well made games. I think they're very underrated for what they are.
Yeah. No kidding. There's nothing more fun than, like, flying around through Arkham City as Batman. Or driving around the Batmobile in that game. And especially having the old voice actors for the original cartoons in that game. Top notch.
Did we talk about this last time? Who's your favorite Joker?
Animated.
So Mark Hamill.
Yes. I that's like when I think Joker, my brain goes straight to that cartoon and that voice.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's my favorite. I mean, just for voice, I think Heath Ledger had the best Joker, but I like Mark Hamill's take on who the Joker is better.
Speaking of, there's a new Joker movie coming out too.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That one looks really good.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in seeing that. They kind of... I don't know, I just want to see what angle they take.
It looks like it's a really, like... The Joker, they took it to a dark way with Christian Bale's...
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, with Heath Ledger's Joker. But this one looks like they're going way deeper in how dark this character is.
Yeah. Well, this is also the first time we're going to get an origin story for the Joker ever.
Really?
Well,
okay, that's what I was wondering, because they were showing, like, I don't know, from the snippet, I didn't really pay attention, and I'll see it when it comes out, but, yeah, I was going to say, he's not always all crazily dressed and everything. It's almost like he's recruiting people or something. I've seen very small snippets. But...
So did you guys ever watch Gotham?
No.
Yes.
So, Kirk, you know that the
sorry.
Joker that they had... Okay, so you haven't watched Gotham.
No, sorry. Take that back.
Okay, so spoiler alerts if you are watching it and intend to finish it and don't want to know anything. So they have a kid that comes on as the Joker around the same age that Bruce Wayne is in the show. So they're around the same age. And the kid ends up dying, and it was his brother that was actually the Joker for the show. So the guy that they had playing, air quotes, playing the Joker was a puppet for his brother. So there's no real origin story for the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix's movie is going to be the first time we see an origin story for any kind of universe Joker ever.
Well, the Batman animated series hinted at some of his origin stories, but they didn't go into as much detail as this movie is going to. He was a failed comedian, struggling through life, and in the animated series, and my memory is a little fuzzy on it, but he falls into this vat of white liquid that makes him go crazy, but not too crazy where he's not self-aware of what he's doing. I don't know. And then that's how Harley Quinn's created too, because she gets pushed into the same vat of liquid that makes her go crazy.
Yeah.
But that's all I know.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see at least one character that DC seems to be able to do right.
Yeah, which is a villain, but
we'll see. It's the most known villain in the world.
Oh yeah, it's probably the favored villain out of all of DC.
Well, he's the most known villain of both DC and Marvel. And that pretty much goes for Batman too. Batman is pretty well known around the world. He was number one before Iron Man came out.
Yeah, I mean, I equate Batman to how Spider-Man is for Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a quick question. Who plays the Joker?
Which time?
This movie coming out.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Isn't it Joaquin? Is that not how you... Joaquin Phoenix? No? Maybe? I don't know. I always thought that's how you said it. Sorry, random. That's the only thing that's been in my head.
Joaquin.
Yeah.
Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just asking.
I'm probably wrong.
No, you're fine. I had no clue what that name was. I had no clue what that name was until I saw it in writing when I was entered the working world. That's why I was like, I mean, I'm not sure how he says it. Sorry, it's the only thing I've been sitting here thinking about for the past couple minutes. Anyway, but no, this should be interesting.
Yeah. But
When's
yeah,
that supposed to come out?
Let's see.
Hopefully sometime in October, so that I wouldn't mind going to see that movie during Halloween time.
Let's see. The new one is out. No, October 3rd. So next weekend.
Oh, nice.
There you go. There you go.
Right in time for Halloween.
And right around the time Destiny expansion comes out.
It's
on my mind, man.
To play, man. There's too many games to play. There's not enough time in the world during the day.
If you haven't yet, pre-download it now. It's an 80 gig update.
Jesus, well, it's on the planet. Yeah. All right, well, maybe I'll go ahead and get on that one tonight as I go to sleep.
Yeah, turn my Xbox on to get it downloaded. Dude, there's a lot.
That's your buy, Danny.
That's
your buy, right? No, that's my buy because you just bought Call of Duty, so I'll go ahead and buy it.
Okay. That's fine with me.
Can't wait.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Do they know when the raid's coming? Sorry, I'm just interjecting here. Is it going to be 3 days afterwards? So if you don't power grind, you're screwed again.
I could be wrong on this, but I thought they said that it's going to be unlocked day one. There's going to be no wait.
Oh Jesus!
Don't quote me on that, but I think I heard something like that. Now that they're separated from Activision, that they're not going to time gate when you can do the raid.
The only thing I don't like about that is that it was so freaking cool. Jeff and I were up till 4 a.m. watching the race of people trying to finish Last Wish. And everybody's jumping streams, going back and forth. I went to sleep, got up. I did something in the morning and came back in time just to see 2402 with Dado and them.
That was really cool to watch.
Like, that was like, I'm up until 4 in the morning watching these dudes do the same fight for like 4 hours. But that was so entertaining because they get so close. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's day one, then it's not like, I mean, yes, it's still a race, but you know, you're gonna get in there. Okay, we figured out what to do, but we're under leveled, so let's wait till reset. All right, let's wait a week. Okay, reset. All right, let's try to get through all this stuff as quick as we can, and then try again. I could totally do without that, but that's just me.
Like I said, I could be wrong about it, and I hope I am, because I kind of want something to happen like it did with the Dreaming City, where the city changed itself after the raid was first beaten within the first 24 hours.
Now, from what I understand, that was supposed to happen anyway.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
something is going to change once somebody beats it, but
they were really betting on people beating that raid first. Like, Bungie put a big bet on the community.
You read the articles, they fully expected to be wrapped up by 5 p.m. and going home.
Yeah.
They had no clue that it was going to take this long to beat it, but
there's also things with the Black Armory too that people couldn't beat.
Well,
nobody
finished it. Nobody finished.
That one
was a stupid puzzle.
There was something that didn't get put into the game correctly. I remember that.
Yep, I do too. When eventually they just opened the forge for everybody because it was just pointless. Because it wasn't even a challenge at that point. It's, do I stand here and shoot that, or do I stand there and shoot this? I don't know. Let's jumble this convoluted sentence together. So, who knows?
We'll see what they do now that they're divorced from Activision, and see if they go back to.
Well, again,
they didn't care about.
If you watched the latest vid doc from Bungie, Luke Smith was like, "We're on our own now. We don't play by anybody else's rules." Again, throwing shade at Activision. But yeah, they're basically saying, we're going to do things on our schedule. Things come out sooner. There will probably be some things that don't come out on time.
I was going to say, I don't think much is going to come out sooner. I think it's more a hint at things that will come out later. But I think things might come out later, but also not broken.
You know what? And I'm fine with that. Take your time and, do
Me
it right.
too.
And
I'm 100% on board with that.
That gives us more time to play other games. Like, I'm not leaving Destiny anytime soon, and I'll wait for good content to come out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather wait than have something rushed and just be bull crappy.
Yep.
Exactly.
So
100%. Yeah, I think that about covers what we want to talk about today. Unless there's anything else that you guys want to throw in here at the last minute.
No, man, I'm good.
No.
All right. So, as per usual, I'm going to be the tool. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Fuck you. Join our Discord.
It's the only response he has.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your wife. Just tell them to play it in the background that I'm a tool. But yeah, we want to continue to do this for you guys. We enjoy doing this. And as I said before, if you want to be on the show, hit us up. We did have one of our friends on already. We do plan on having some more of those, so make sure you get your name in there, however possible. But yeah, that's all I got for today. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. That will be
2 weeks from now.
Well, yeah, that'll be 2 weeks from now. I'm looking at my calendar. That will be the episode coming out on October the 9th. Spoiler alerts, we will probably most likely be covering a whole lot of Destiny on that.
Yep.
With all the new content, with them being divorced from Activision, this being their first endeavor without having a major name behind them. So this is kind of new ground for Bungie going into this season of Shadowkeep. And I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. Everything will be in the show notes, our Facebook, Twitter, email, Discord server, and that's about it.
Yep. So we're signing off for now. We'll see you guys on October 9th.
See you guys.
See y'all then.